Hey there, everybody, it's Russ and Laura, and in this video, I'm going to give you guys our 5 tips for touring as a couple. So we've been together for a long time.
That is true.
How long? I know this. 16?
16
years.
Notice I had to think about it too.
And we've successfully toured for over a decade together without killing each other.
Amazingly.
Mostly,
But true.
So we've learned some things along the way, and these are our 5 tips to tour as a couple without killing each other, I guess. So number 1, it seems a little bit odd, but I would suggest touring with a mirror.
Yes.
So we like to use these take-a-look mirrors that we put on our glasses. You can use the handlebar ones, but it's less about checking on traffic, and it's more about situational awareness and always being aware of what your partner is up to.
It is. It's great because then, you can, if you're the slow one and you're stuck back there, you can wave, you can check and see if somebody's dropped off the back.
Yeah, you can always do a quick glance and make sure your pace isn't too hard, you're not dropping your partner by accident, or you notice instantly if they get a flat and they pull over on the side of the road, and that, trust me, leads to less arguments down the road.
Tip number 2 is somewhat connected, but it's to have a bell or some sort of communication method, device between the two of you. And again, it is so that you can alert your partner if you need to stop for some reason. When we don't happen to have bells, we'll always, signal off to our right that we're going to stop or talk back and forth to each other. And it's just an easy way to alert the other person that something's up. I'm going to stop pedaling for a moment. And then it hopefully eliminates that situation where one person stops and the other person doesn't know and then finds out,
Yeah, a mile down the road.
And they're like, what happened? And then you have angry people.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I think we like about a bell is it's a fairly distinct sound. So even if you're riding in traffic, you'll hear that high-pitched sound. And we actually worked out kind of a system. So I think one ding would just kind of hey, look back really quickly, some not urgent need, but then multiple dings in a row was I'm pulling over, or there's a hazard.
I'm about to die.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about a bell too is it cuts through like you said, traffic noise, but also cuts through wind, and in any other thing that, is going to be, because sometimes yelling, you can yell at the other person, but they're not going to hear it over, just road noise or wind in your ear.
Tip number 3 is to make sure you're on the same page with the bike tour. Make sure you've got the same set of shared expectations. So is a tour about exploring and going slow and going to all the coffee shops? Or is a tour about banging out the miles and more of kind of an athletic adventure? You want to make sure that you're both doing the same tour. You're both signed up for the same tour, because otherwise...
It's not good if you get out there on the road on the first day and one partner stops to get ice cream and the other partner's like, what the hell?
Hurry up.
Why are we doing this? So make sure you have that conversation beforehand. Speaking of kind of everybody being on the same page, I think one of the things that makes a lot of sense to me, and that I think we started doing kind of instinctively, is to let the person who is slowest or not as good of a climber, whatever the situation might be, not as good, riding into the wind, let that other person be the one that sets the pace. So don't be the partner that's take your time, I'll meet you at the top of the mountain. But maybe let your slower partner spin, take their time going uphill, hang out behind them, be like, hey, I'm not trying to rush you, I just want to hang out with you. Tell them stories. I think you played the harmonica, or at least you threatened to for a while there.
So tip number 5 is snacks. Inevitably on a tour, you're going to get the hanger. And I think that's when most fights happen. So realizing that, you don't hate the person in particular, it's just, low blood sugar or that situation. And, a good way to kind of curtail that is snacks.
Yes. A banana, a Snickers bar, some shot blocks.
Nutella.
Yeah, it goes a long way to not having a fight when somebody is exhausted and melting down, but also not aware that they're melting down, because I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
And then it's better to just be like, hey, you want a snack? You want a Snickers bar? You want to share this with me?
Put this in your mouth. So those are our 5 tips for touring as a couple. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any other tips that you've employed touring with your friend or your partner or whatever that has helped you keep your sanity and kept the tour going.
And kept your relationship going.
Right. So that's it for now, and until next time.
Oh, right.
So that's it for now, and until next time.
Keep us up upside down.